Dan Willis here, and in this video we're going to talk about debt collections once you have an old debt that gets sold to a collection agency. This is kind of an endless cycle. If collection agency, let's call them collection agency X, that's going to be the first collection agency. Let's say they bought your credit card that was charged off, they bought that debt account. They are now going to start contacting you by phone, by written letter, uh, demanding payment, and they may even offer to settle for like a fraction of the total balance. But if you don't pay collection agency X, they're going to sell your debt to another collection agency. And collection agency X is going to enter some bad credit information on all three of your credit reports. This new collection agency that we'll call collection agency Y is then going to start contacting you for payment. Depending on the size of your debt will depend on how long and how many different collection agencies get it, assuming you don't pay any of them. Unfortunately, one of the results of unpaid debts sometimes can be judgments, which is a really, really, really bad mark to have on your credit report. So one of the most important things with all debts is they are only legally your obligation to repay for, it varies from state to state, but it's typically about 7 years. If it's like a credit card, for example, after 7 years, you are not legally responsible to repay that debt anymore. There's federal laws that have been passed too. The Fair Debt Collection Practices Act is one of these laws, and this law sets some regulations on the collection agencies, when they can call you, where they can call you, what they can say. And one of the other things, because as we mentioned, every collection agency that gets your debt that doesn't get payment from you, they're going to leave a negative mark on your credit report. So one account can turn into 5 different negative marks on your credit report. Legally, I mean, that's all fine and legal that after that 7 years, but you can ask for debt validation. You should do this with a written letter, and it's going to require that the collection agency prove to you that they have your debt. There's kind of a format you should follow, and you can visit our website yourbadcreditcard.net to get a template of the letter you should send. But if the collection agency isn't able to prove that it's your debt, then they cannot contact you anymore or collect payment for it. The debt's kind of null and void. And as a FYI, the Federal Trade Commission, a arm of our federal government, has sued. I mean, they sue these collection agencies on a regular basis for violating federal regulations and laws. Really be careful, and be careful what you say when you're speaking to collection agents. Every comment you say can be really used against you. The federal laws have been passed to protect you, the consumer. So make sure you're protecting yourself and you never pay the full balance, even if you decide to settle to pay your debt. And visit yourbadcreditcard.net, and we have information and articles about how to settle your debt, how to request validation, how to deal with debt collectors and get them to stop calling you and harassing you. Whatever you do, make sure you become aware of some of your rights and make sure you protect yourself. And it might be worth it to get help from professional service if you need it, depending on your circumstances. But anyways, this is Dan Willis. Have a great afternoon, and again, visit yourbadcreditcard.net and grab some more free tips here. Take care.